Russell, hello. This is Andy West. Thank you so much for reaching out, Russell. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. And hello, Russell's mom, Pamela. How you doing? And Megan and Tammy. Hello to the whole group. I hope you guys are well. Thank you for reaching out. I'm doing great, Russell. Thanks for asking. All is well over here, and I hope it's the same with you guys. So let's talk a little TWD and Once Upon a Time. So let's start with The Walking Dead. When I got the job, I had no idea what sort of character I was going to be playing because it's all top secret. You don't really know. I wanted to be a part of the show, so I was pretty much willing to do anything. So I flew to Atlanta, and I'm doing fittings and stuff like that. And Scott Gimple, who was the showrunner at the time, called me into his office and he was like, "Here's the deal. Here's who you're playing." And he kind of laid out everything, and I was like, "Wow, this is going to be crazy." And I hadn't seen the scripts yet, but I was like, "Oh my God, it's like the leader of this cannibal group and all this stuff." So I knew it was going to be cool. I knew it was going to be exciting. We shot, I think, my first episode or two, and then I got the script for the infamous Bob scene, just the script, and I read it, and I could not stop pacing around my apartment in Atlanta. I just knew it just that final scene was just at that point it probably the best scene that I'd ever read that I was actually going to be able to be a part of. So I was so excited. And it didn't disappoint. The director was fantastic. Everything came together really well. And it just, it kind of put me on a different trajectory. And it was one of the most exciting moments that I had had playing a character because I'd never gotten to do something that shocking and well written at the same time. And it was such a complex, weird character, and I didn't want to think of him as purely evil, even though the dude was super evil. So it was just fun. And then so fast forward to Once Upon a Time, um, where I'm playing like the polar opposite sort of character. And what was interesting about Henry on Once Upon a Time was that I had never played a character who was so uh, genuinely good, and that was surprisingly challenging because typically, most characters are they're not always perfectly honest. There's always like they're manipulating. They're trying to get ahead and sort of play this game with the people that they interact with, and most of the time the characters that you're given. But Henry was just this like very genuine guy who made mistakes but always meant really well, and that was different for me, especially after especially from coming from Gareth from The Walking Dead. It was a very different experience. So entirely different muscle altogether. But both working on both shows was so much fun. I made friends that I still keep in touch with from both jobs, and those are the two biggest TV jobs that I've ever had, just in terms of the influence and effect that they've had on me, as a person and as an actor. So yeah, it was all very cool. But Russell, thank you so much for the great question. Thank you for reaching out, and I hope you, Pamela, Megan, and Tammy are all very well. Thanks, guys.